Hey everybody, Tony D with the Screenwriter's Rant on Last Look starring Charlie Hunan and Mel Gibson. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Please check out my books. Links are in the description. Comedy horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys, and little Joan she's running around all excited because I've got meat on the barbecue. This movie I heard about in Variety, and it looks good. It's based on a book, and the premise is, and this is a foreign version of it, which I guess got released somewhere else, but Charlie Hunan plays an LAPD detective. Gibson plays a famous actor who's married to the victim, and he's blamed for the murder, and Charlie has to solve the mystery and free him. So it's kind of an interesting premise, at least to me, because it's got a very sort of Rockford Files look to it, and I was a big fan of the Rockford Files. If you've ever seen the show with James Gardner, it's great. But because he lived in a trailer, kind of in the Rockford lived in a trailer on Malibu Beach. He lives in a trailer out in the middle of nowhere. Kind of very similar. So it's a 3-book series. So I guess they're trying to do a franchise with this. And Mel is playing like a very highfalutin kind of actor. He's doing an accent, which is kind of different for him. And Charlie is the cool guy who, he's trying to figure out the mystery, and he's constantly getting beat up. And Mel Gibson is, playing like a hoity-toity actor who doesn't listen to instructions. Here he gets arrested. So it's supposed to be an action comedy. It says here, yeah, it says in some of these it's a thriller, but it does seem kind of funny. It doesn't seem like hilariously funny. And there's a love interest, of course, and obviously I don't think Mel's character probably committed the murder. Here's the love interest. It's probably a lot more nuanced than that, because Mel is too obvious a suspect. His character is like, he doesn't even remember. He said sometimes he wakes up married with kids and doesn't even remember how it happened. This guy is a suspect. I think he's Mel's agent or whatever, maybe his producer. There's a lot of people on the set. So it should be a fun movie either way. I mean, it's a little different for Charlie Hunan. It's definitely different for Mel Gibson. Here they are getting into a fight. For some reason, Charlie pulls out his gun on the set, and there's a scene where Charlie gets beaten up by some thugs. I don't know who this guy is yet, but and then in this scene, his deal is he rides around on a bike. I don't know why. Maybe he can't afford a car anymore. And this woman sort of clotheslines him and then kisses him. So it's called Last Looks. And let's check out some of the credits here. Based on the novel by Howard Michael Gould. Screenplay by Howard Michael Gould. Oh, that's a good sign. That's a really good sign. I mean, the same guy who wrote the novel wrote the screenplay. Come on. That's going to be, if that's not authentic to the book, what could possibly be, right? Directed by Tim Kirkby? Kirkby. Yeah, looks good. So first act, there's a murder. Mel is blamed. And for whatever reason, Charlie is called out of retirement to save him. Act 2 is probably Mel and Charlie not getting along. Charlie trying to help him, Mel not really listening to him. Eventually, he just makes the situation worse and worse and worse. As he uncovers stuff, people try to stop him from solving the mystery. It's pretty classic detective stuff. There's a love interest mixed in there somewhere, and then in the third act, things start to break down. I mean, the relationship between him and Mel probably goes south, and they get into a fight, and then in the end, he solves the mystery. Who's the murderer? I don't think it's Mel. Yeah, I don't think it's Mel. It would be a shocker if it was, though. So it looks cool. It looks cool, and the novelist wrote the screenplay, so you can't really ask for anything better. And that it takes place in Hollywood indicates to me that he was probably a screenwriter anyway, right? You know, a writer living out in L.A., writing about L.A., he probably at least has a passing understanding of screenplays. So, but they let him write it at all is an indication that he's probably already a screenwriter. Maybe he already has credits. I don't know. I'd have to check. But this looks good. Looks good. Last looks. Not sure when it comes out. Sometime in 2022. So I'm excited. I think you should be too. And that's it for me, Tony D. I'm only going to do 2 videos today because I'm a little under the weather. I got a Hollywoke hot take, and then I'm just gonna take it easy today. So we'll see you tomorrow. And Little Joan will be back.